Hey Brainwash fans, here's David and... Eric? Oh, that's right. Eric's at OSU. Darn. Who am I going to do the review with? Mike! Dude, I'm so glad you're here!
I just want to know if you want to go to dinner.
Dude, Mike! I'm doing a Brainwash review over Captain America! Right now!
No way. I'm in.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing! Oh, roll the intro!
The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls in the closet.
Our pro section. So, we're gonna go to Mike. Mike, you okay?
Yeah. Yes, I'm fine, considering. Now, first off, the pros for Captain America First Avenger. The first thing we have to talk about, they had a wonderful cast this time around in their Marvel movie. They did.
We gotta go with Tommy Lee Jones. He's always in any film that he's in my opinion, he's really great. He's actually one of the comic reliefs in this film, surprisingly enough, even though he has said that he has no sense of humor. But he delivers these great one-liners that just, you know, is very funny. Very funny man.
Very much so. I mean, he may be the straight man in the comedic role, but he did a great job in that aspect. I mean, and on that note, of course, being that they had a great character development, you mentioned he had a bunch of great one-liners. The movie also had a bunch of great bits, which we'll get into. Yeah. But you mentioned that Tommy Lee Jones was well cast. At the same token, also was Hugo Weaving as the Red Skull.
Amazing. Hugo Weaving was this just menacing. You knew this guy was a bad dude. I mean, you knew that
he was red.
As soon, yeah, he was red.
He's a bad dude, right?
I mean, well, just the first time you get on screen with him, you're watching this, and he comes off like he knows that what's going on is bad. He just doesn't care. I mean, you know, it's not like the Joker who, you know, he thinks he's part of the big grand scheme of things. Red Skull knows what he's doing is wrong. He just doesn't give a care. He just doesn't give a flying fornication. And Hugo Weaving just nailed it right on top of the head. It's great. It's amazing. And we gotta go to the big man himself.
Of course, Chris Evans' cast as Captain America was, without a doubt, one of the more questionable castings of the movie, due to the simple fact that Chris Evans had already portrayed a Marvel superhero in, of course, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and the Fantastic Four. So yeah, a lot of people were very skeptic about him pulling off this heroic character, because his characters in movies have always been ones of more comic relief, more, you know, not so serious, but, you know, if they play heroes, they're going to be heroic, but they're going to be funny in their own right.
They're going to be rebellious.
Exactly.
And that's the big thing that I believe we talked about prior to this film coming out, is that I didn't think Chris Evans was a good choice because he's not the right age. Captain America is a little well into his 40s at the time, isn't he? When he gets frozen. Correct?
Yeah, of course. I mean, one of the things that makes the movie interesting, though, is it also takes place over years.
Yes.
But yeah, you're right. He is, you know, in his mid to late 30s, early 40s-ish, when he was officially frozen in the comic books.
Yes.
You know,
and I didn't think that he would do great, but I was very pleasantly surprised. Great job. I can't say anything about that. I can't.
Yes, Chris Evans was wonderful in that aspect. He was able to capture the heart and the courage of the character before he was a super soldier, and kept that and became this great, iconic superhero in the movie. Really well done by him. And of course, we mentioned before that Tommy Lee Jones had, you know, some of the best one-liners in the movie. The movie was very well paced in the aspect that it had a bunch of good bits.
Yes, it did. Which is our next pro. Our next pro is great bits. You know, most films nowadays will go for cheap humor.
A groin shot.
A groin shot, or a dick cannon. Michael Bay. Anyway, but you know, we've seen filmmakers go, well, we need to actually start getting to a more mature kind of comedy instead of going for cheap laughs. And the director of this film did a great job of directing a film that didn't have cheap laughs.
No,
I don't remember any cheap laughs in the whole entire film. Do you?
I don't remember there being any real cheap laughs, if you will, but there was, I mean, the laughs came as part of the story, if you will,
yes.
and for that matter in the character development.
Yes.
In this aspect, we talked about Steve Rogers, of course, being the, you know, courageous and full of heart, brave character that he is, and Chris Evans being able to portray that. The one thing that always gets lost in translation somewhere for the character is his amazing intelligence. He's
yes.
also very smart when he becomes, before he's even the super soldier, but also, you know, when he's, you know, the scrawny, wimpy kid, if you will. And they did a great job. There's a really, it's funny. It's a play on, you know, a classic, you know, brain versus brawn, which of course the brain in the end ends up winning segment in the movie. It did a great job in that aspect, and of course developing the character.
Yes. So that's another pro we have to count. Oh my gosh, we have to bring this up. The love interest and the relationship of that love interest was very well developed. It's probably the best I've seen in a superhero movie. You know, you can say stuff like Dark Knight and Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, do you really want to compare Maggie Gyllenhaal to Haley Atwell?
Well, not really, but I'm just saying, all I'm saying is that they did a good job, but as like, well, I'll let you elaborate on the Spider-Man theory there.
Yeah, it's a known fact that, you know, the core of a lot of superheroes' conflicts in comic books as well as in movies, and we've noticed this as a trend ever since, you know, the X-Men became the hottest thing and brought this new wave of superhero movies into, you know, the mainstream. It has always been grounded in a relationship, a love relationship, if it's a love triangle or if it's just a single one-on-one relationship. A lot of movies have based their cores on love relationships. Hence, of course, why you brought up Spider-Man.
Yes.
All three of those movies tried to make the entire thing almost about Peter Parker's relationship with Mary Jane, yes, and how he's conflicted about being Spider-Man and not wanting to be Spider-Man if he can't be with her, and all those things. And throughout three movies have tried to make this work. And no offense, they did a good job for most of the parts. They did really well on those
yes
movies. However, what Spider-Man 3, 2, and 1, the original trilogy tried to do in three movies, Captain America got right in one movie.
Which was great, and just a testament to how great this film is. Last two pros we have to talk about, and then we're going to wrap up and go to the cons. Great special effects, and it's a great period piece. Now, why do I say it's a period piece? I say it's a period piece, even though it's a Marvel film and it's a superhero film, because costumes were correct, weapons, with the exception of the Red Skull's army, were correct. We saw the 1911, we saw the BAR, we saw the Thompson, all correct. We even saw the Walter, didn't we?
Yeah,
we saw the Walter. Just, you know, and pop culture references within, you know, we had the war bonds and stuff like that.
Fun little bit for everybody a fan of Captain America. When you've trashed the fact that his suit looks a little off, you will see something that'll make you smile in that movie.
Okay.
With one of the war bonds.
Yes. Anyway, special effects just blow your mind away. I mean, you think most of this film was not shot on location.
No, it was not.
It was shot just in a closed set.
It was a closed set. They were in London to shoot a lot of these sets. You know, Pinewood Studios, which of course has doubled for a lot of great superhero movies. The original Batman being one of them from 1989. The Superman movie from 1978 was shot there. And they did a great job at recreating the 1940s America, and of course different locations throughout the movie, which did a great job. They did shoot they were on location in some places.
Yes.
But for the most part, they transformed Pinewood Studios. They did a great job at keeping it based, you know, in the 1940s.
This was great. Okay, now we have to move to the cons. And here we are with our cons. Now,
con.
yeah, this is a big one.
You here?
Yeah, once you get your chair.
Thank you. Why? You were here.
Why did the jump cut affect you?
Why did it what?
Jump cut. There was a jump cut to the cons.
I don't jump.
Anyway, cons of this film. Mike has a lot of these. These are very nitpicky things, but because we do like this film, we're not bashing it. It's just we have to nitpick and we have to have a con section. So, Mike?
Yes, nitpicking aside here, the movie did a very great job at relaying everything. Did a great job. You know, it's a great summer blockbuster movie. It had a very simple plot. It built the character, did a bunch of great things, and as far as the Avengers go, however, a lot of it, and this is the biggest con of it, was anticlimactic. They did a lot of stuff that was, shall we say, could have been built up more. I mean, you know, the suit, the way they debut Captain America's suit the first time,
yeah.
the suit that you've seen in the pictures, everybody saw it and wanted to see it happen. And when it first appears in the movie, it left a really a dry taste. I was salivating for him to put the suit on, because the trailers had on numerous occasions shown that he was, like, you know, standing in front of this and boom, and then all of a sudden the movie was very anticlimactic in revealing it.
Yeah, we kind of expected more, and not to glorify this film in any way possible, more of a kind of Batman Forever type putting on the suit. You know, where you have the helmets and you have the greaves and his
click,
yeah,
boom.
Yeah, I kind of would have liked to see that, in opposed to a montage. The two ending, the endings is another con. The ending after the credits. Spoiler alert! Go spoiler alert, John. It was a trailer for the film, for the Avengers film, and as a fan, I didn't want to see the trailer. I mean, yeah, it's cool, but it was, well, let's just demonstrate. I'll be Thor, you be Tony Stark.
Got a good arm.
That's it. That's it.
The fact, what David's talking about is the fact that it's a known fact that after every single Marvel movie leading up to the Avengers movie next year, there's always been that little irkling of a hint that would, you know, reveal something about the Avengers movie. Now, at the end of Captain America, we get the first teaser trailer for the Avengers movie.
Yes.
Now, why is this a con? It's not a con. To see the teaser trailer was not a con. That was great.
Yeah, it was cool. But
the problem being that the teaser, the ending of the movie, the way Captain America ends, was just, that should have been after the credits, if you think about it. You know,
you really would expect that.
Yeah, the ending of the 2-hour movie should have been the scene at the end of the credits. If that would have been even better for the teaser.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, that was the only other thing. The movie was very much set in the aspect that it was setting itself up to be part of a franchise. They did a bunch of really great little hints that they're going to make Captain America 2 and make it, you know, a bankable movie franchise. Sadly, of course, you know, it was set. The ending was more of a setup for the Avengers movie, which was a letdown almost.
It was, but like we said, this is very nitpicky. So we're going to wrap this up and give our rating. What is our scale this time, Mike?
The scale will, of course, be out of 5. But because of this being Captain America, it's only fitting that we should give it a rating of not stars, but Cap shields.
Of course. That's a very good idea. Now, what is going to be our rating, Mike?
The rating on this one is simply put based on how great this movie was, and it was a great movie. It makes some very nitpicking anticlimactic things, and of course the Avengers setup that it is. This movie deserves, out of 5, this one deserves 3.5 Cap shields.
I think so too. So, until our next review, which is going to be over the video game, I'm David.
And I'm Michael.
Signing off for Brainwash.